Bradley Edward Delp was an American musician, best known as the lead vocalist of the rock bands Boston and RTZ. Early life: Delp was born in Peabody, Massachusetts on June 12, 1951 to French-Canadian immigrants. While his father played the fiddle at home, Delp was inspired after seeing the Beatles perform on The Ed Sullivan Show in 1964. He began learning to play the guitar and claimed to have locked himself in his bedroom for several days in order to learn all the guitar and vocal parts. He saw the Beatles perform live at Suffolk Downs in East Boston on August 18, 1966. In 1968, Delp also discovered the music of a local group from Worcester called Orpheus and became a lifelong fan, calling them his favorite band, second only to the Beatles. In 1970, Brad Delp was making heating elements for Mr. Coffee machines at Danvers company Hot What when Barry Goudreau, who was working with Scholz at the time, introduced Delp to Tom Scholz while Scholz, Goudreau and Jim Masdy were playing in local area cover band. Delp auditioned as lead vocalist for Boston, and got the job immediately. Musical career. In 1969, guitarist Barry Goudreau introduced Delp to Tom Scholz, who was looking for a singer to complete some demo recordings. Eventually Scholz formed the short-lived band Mother's Milk, including Delp and Goudreau. After producing a demo, Epic Records eventually signed the act. Mother's Milk was renamed Boston, and the eponymous debut album was released in August 1976. Delp performed all of the lead and backing vocals, including all layered vocal overdubs. Boston has sold more than 20 million copies, and produced rock standards such as More Than a Feeling, Foreplay Long Time, and Peace of Mind. Delp co-wrote Smokin' along with Scholz, and wrote the album's closing track, Let Me Take You Home Tonight. Their next album, Don't Look Back, was released 2 years later in August 1978. Its release spawned new hits such as the title track, Party, and the poignant ballad A Man I'll Never Be. As they did with Smokin', Delp and Scholz again collaborated on Party, and Delp penned Used to Bad News. After the two Boston albums, Delp sang vocals on Barry Goudreau's self-titled solo album, released in 1980. Scholz's legendary perfectionism and a legal battle with their record company stalled any further Boston albums until 1986, when the band released the appropriately titled Third Stage. Delp co-wrote the songs Cool the Engines, and Can It Just Say Still in Love for the album, and both songs got significant airplay. Another hiatus between albums forced Delp to part ways with Scholz in 1991 to form a new band with Goudreau called RTZ. After Boston released the album Walk On in 1994 with Fran Cosmo on vocals, Delp and Boston eventually reunited later that year for another major tour, and Delp continued to record vocals on several albums and projects, including new tracks for Boston's 1997 Greatest Hits compilation and their 2002 release Corporate America. Though well known for his golden voice with soaring vocals and range, Delp was also a multi-instrumentalist, playing guitar, harmonica and keyboards. He wrote or co-wrote songs for Boston, RTZ, Orion the Hunter, Lisa Gaia, and other artists. From the mid-1990s until his death in 2007, Delp also played in a side project when he had time off from Boston, a Beatles tribute band called Beetlejuice. The Beatles had always been a personal favorite of Delp, and he revered them for their songwriting. During this time Delp also co-wrote with Boston bandmate Barry Goudreau for the 2003 release Delp and Goudreau. Personal life: Delp was twice married and divorced, and had 2 children by his second wife, Mickey Delp. He was a vegetarian for over 30 years, and contributed to a number of charitable causes. He was set to marry his fiancée Pamela Sullivan, his girlfriend of 7 years, at the time of his death. Delp committed suicide sometime between 11 p.m. on the night of March 8 and 1:20 p.m. during the afternoon of March 9, 2007, at age 55. He was found dead in his home on Academy Avenue in Atkinson, New Hampshire, from the smoke of 2 charcoal grills he lit inside his sealed master bathroom, which he had placed in the bathtub. Delp was found by police lying on a pillow on his bathroom floor, plus a public suicide note found paper-clipped to the neck of his T-shirt, which read, Mr. Brad Delp. Jauna sent me solitaire. I am a lonely soul. Delp left 4 private notes, sealed in envelopes, addressed to his former family members and his fiancée in an office. The official cause of death was listed as suicide by carbon monoxide poisoning. On March 19, 2007, Barry Goudreau released one final song with Delp on vocals titled Rockin' Away. Recorded in the summer of 2006 and co-written with Barry Goudreau, it is an autobiography of Delp's music career. The song was a hit in early 2008, charting up to number 18 on the United States of America's music ranking of rock radio airplay. A tribute concert, featuring his former bandmates from RTZ, Beetlejuice, Orion the Hunter, Delp and Goudreau, and Boston was conceived by his adult children and intended to fund the newly formed Brad Delp Foundation. The show took place on August 19, 2007. The Brad Delp Foundation was formed to raise awareness and garner continued support for various charitable entities to which Brad had contributed during his life. One posthumous CD release on which Delp sang was Mark Guitar Miller's What You Gonna Do. Miller said, "Brad was kind enough to drive from New Hampshire to Maine twice to sing on this CD with me." Delp sang lead vocals on the track Nothing But the Blues. The songs Delp sings harmony on are My Mojo Ain't Workin', What You Gonna Do, Goin' Down by the River, Keep Your Little Red Dress On, and Guitar Man. Another posthumous release on which Delp sang was Bruce Arnold's Orpheus Again. Arnold said, "He added immeasurably to my music." The songs Delp sings harmony on are The Love Bite, and a contemporary remake of Can't Find the Time. On what would have been Delp's 61st birthday, June 12, 2012, Jenna Delp, president of the Brad Delp Foundation, released an MP3 on the foundation website of a never-before-released song which was written and recorded by Delp in 1973. It was also announced that the foundation intended to release a complete CD of Brad's solo work at some point in the future, which would encompass a span of 30 years of previously unreleased material written and recorded by Delp and his closest friends. Discography. With Boston, Don't Look Back, Third Stage, Greatest Hits, Corporate America, with Barry Goudreau, with Orion the Hunter, with RTZ, Return to Zero, Lost and Found, with Delp and Goudreau, Rockin' Away single, with Mark Guitar Miller, What You Gonna Do. With Orpheus Again, references. External links, Brad Delp at the Internet Movie Database, Brad Delp. Find a Grave. Retrieved August 12, 2010. http://www.braddelpfoundation.org/. Brad Delp Foundation.